Once upon a time, two retired teachers decided to convert their garage into a pottery studio. Along with their daughter and son, they built a business around the idea that the world could use a little more art and a lot more artists. We're the Kaya family. Welcome to Wocky Pots. Hi everybody, how you doing? How you been? How are things? Shane and Diana here at Wocky Pot Studio for coffee time number 83.
Yes.
It is a fairly cloudy, almost maybe rainy looking pre-autumn day.
I did hear some thunder in the distance earlier, so I was wondering if there was going to be a thunderstorm.
Might be a rainy day, maybe.
Yes.
What are we going to talk about in today's episode, Diana?
Alrighty, well, we have a few things that we had mentioned in previous videos that we're going to talk about. We do have a question that we're hoping the folks out there can help us with. And we're going to give a little bird update.
Oh yeah, for the baby ostriches. They're not.
Oh, they're not ostriches. He's doing it again.
We'll give you an update with those guys.
Yes.
All right. So this past week was pretty busy. We did a lot of stuff,
and we had a really fun day on Friday because we did our Found Object Friday.
Yeah, Found Object Friday. In fact, a couple of the pieces on my side and your mug on your side. These are
I love that.
the results of our Found Object Friday activity, and it really was a lot of fun. If you have not checked out that video, please go back and take a look at what we did. We had a great time. The pieces are now finished being trimmed, and yours was done that day, but my handle is on my mug that I did, and this is just going to be like a wine cup with no handle, and that's all trimmed and ready to go. The bottom is nice and burnished. And we'll show a closer up picture of those so you can see what they look like right now. The next time you'll see them, they'll be glazed, and we'll make sure we talk about them when we
we want to make sure we do that. I know it was kind of eye-opening to me because a lot of times we get focused on the tools that you can buy that are specific for pottery. But if you just look around your home and your surroundings, you can find a lot of things to use. So I feel like it's a way to challenge ourselves and kind of to look at things differently. And I did notice you have a much easier time looking at things with a different eye than I do.
I have a hard time constraining my enthusiasm. I will pick up everything.
and I'm there struggling with, what's going to be best, and I get so fixated on the end product that sometimes I forget about the process. So that's why it's really helpful that we do this together.
Right?
Yes,
we get fresh perspective.
We do, and so I felt like Friday for me was just a really good challenge, and it was very fun.
We're going to do it again.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely. I really liked that. We also, on Friday afternoon, after the challenge, we did our kiln unload. And I do want to share some of the photos that came out from that. We did our kiln unload video, but we did not do the combo video after. We ran out of time. And thankfully, the kiln unload combos from the week before was the exact
same
combos on the large pieces. Now, I didn't get the chance to go over the ghost or anything like that.
We will show pictures of the ghost. We have to show pictures of the ghost because here's the thing. We unloaded the kiln on Friday, took all that stuff to the market on Saturday, and almost everything from that kiln load flew off the table. Almost everything went. So we got to show you pictures.
So excited and just humbled by the way people looked at those ghosts. They loved them. And we were given so many other ideas. We had one lady come up and say about a pink ballerina slipper, and I thought that was so fun. This morning, I was thinking about putting a beehive. A
beehive, that's right.
Yes, on the top of one of them.
So we have lots of ideas, and we're definitely going to be making more ghosts because our chances for making the ghosts and have them be available for this year's Halloween festivities, that window is getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, so definitely have to get them done, and I guess that within the next couple of days, in fact, in order to have them ready in enough time. for people to have an opportunity to get them.
And we'll show you a picture
yes.
also of our pumpkins that we did.
Yes.
The little
They're
tiny
all
pumpkins.
gone.
They all went. Every single one.
And so
They're
we
gone.
definitely need to make more pumpkins. And they are just so sweet. I just love them.
They did.
I think they're so great.
They look really great.
Yes. And so that was, so Friday really was such a big day, but we did have lots of things that we were making last week. And, I've been working on some more of the blueberry mugs. I have some that are for a person already.
You did a great job with the spoon rests.
I threw these on the wheel. I am throwing a little bit more now, guys, on the wheel now that we have 2 wheels.
Update, she really does like that new
wheel. I do. And so I did some spoon rest on that. They might be a little thick, but you know what? I'm okay with thick spoon rest because
they're going to get clanked around.
And they don't move, when you're sitting there and you're in the kitchen. So in my mind, some things should just be heavier. So I kind of like that. But yesterday, Karen came over and we had a day of making and glazing. And so she helped me make ornaments yesterday. I'll show a picture of those because they're back on the racks drying. But we're doing the Chincoteague Island ornaments, and we've done all the 200 that we were going to sell, but these 26 that we made are for the volunteers at the market, and so those ones are going to say thank you on the back.
You'll see those when they're finished. For sure.
So, but we also made lots of trinkets yesterday, and I brought out just a few. So, because I wanted to share these because I love the patterns on these.
Oh, it's so
the
pretty.
Leaves, it's very pretty, and we'll put the picture of these. But this one was my favorite of all of them, and that's the snowflake. So I'm really excited about that. And then, of course, the sweater one because, got to start doing the sweater patterns now.
That's right. It's starting to be cozy season.
So, but he was making bowls. He was making 1 pound bowls, guys, yesterday.
I did. I failed at my quest to fill the rack with 1 pound bowls.
1 pound bowls.
I made lots of 1 pound bowls. I did make many of 1 pound bowls.
Did.
I don't see any. This is almost. This is 1.25 pounds over here.
But then one time I looked over and I'm like, honey, is that a jar that you're doing? No, it's a bowl.
It's just a really tall, narrow bowl is all it is. Because really, isn't a vase just a really tall, narrow bowl? Isn't it really, though?
Yeah.
So to give you a little bit of background and to kind of give you some context, we have a new bat system that I'm using on the wheel. And I'm going to give you a real quick review of that. You'll probably see it over my shoulder here. The base of it. Basically, the bat system, and I have about a 2-minute video I'll show while I'm talking about this. The bat system consists of a base and then a round flat piece of wood that you throw the pottery on, and then you can pick it up and take it off to the side. And I wanted to kind of put this through its paces to see how useful it was for me because I use something called a base setter to get my bottoms consistent. And I put that down on the wheel and then I pull it towards me. You'll see it in the video. And that gives me a nice, consistently even, flat bottom so that it basically takes the guesswork out of it and makes it a little bit faster and a little bit easier to get the bottoms right. Well, I tried that out on the 1 pound bowls and it worked fabulously. It works great on mugs and mug forms. This was a 2 pound bowl that I threw on the wheel, and it did a fabulous, the base setter did a great job. And then the bat system was also fantastic. This is one of the
really good bowl.
One of the thinnest, large-ish bowls that I've made. Yeah. And I started a couple of my pieces. I really was concentrating on thinness. This is probably the thinnest mug that I've ever made. It's got a very thin teacup-like thinness. That's definitely one of the thinnest ones I've
like
made.
this bottom.
And I do have fun making the foot.
I like that.
Yeah. So
it gives it a distinguished...
So I was working on some smaller, thinner forms. And then I also made a hybrid form. I guess that's what I would call it. This vase that you have in front of me, and I'm calling it a vase because I haven't priced it yet, but depending on how Diana does the glaze, I might have to change it to a vase. Depends on how pretty it is when it's all finished. But for now, the vase that I did... I threw that in 2 cylinders. I did a 2 pound cylinder on top of a 2-pound cylinder. Basically, I threw these separately and then stuck them together, wired off the top one, and then continued with the form. This is practice for me making a much larger form with this. So,
yeah, because I was going to say, it's
I
4
can-
pounds.
I can
You
do
could
four-
do 4 pounds. That was way more than 4 pounds. And I'm
can-
like, what?
I can easily do 4 pounds, but the test really was the technique of
Right.
adding a cylinder on top of a cylinder. Now that I know how easy it is to do with a 2-pound plus a 2-pound cylinder, I can do a 3-pound plus a 3-pound, and then maybe even a 4-pound plus a 4-pound.
Okay, I need, you got to back up for a second because you've lost me for a second because did I hear you right? You said you made 2 cylinders?
Yes, 2 cylinders. That's this many, deuce. Right?
Okay, and then you put 1 cylinder on top of the other. What happened to the bottom of that second cylinder?
I had to cut that off. I guess I need to do an explainer video.
Okay.
If you want me to explain to you how I make a 2-part hybrid form, I will definitely give a demo for that. But let me know if you want to know how to do it. Basically, I made 2 things on this, right, on these. I made the first cylinder, and then I made the second cylinder, and then I took the first cylinder and went zip, pop, on top of it. And then I wired this off.
So it would have been a closed vessel.
It would have been a closed vessel, right?
I can visualize it now.
Yep. Okay,
I was really struggling.
Anyway, the important part of that process was learning whether or not or how to do it. Now that I know it can be done and how to do it, now it's only a matter of scaling it up. And to give you an idea of how much I can or intend to scale it up, this bowl was made with 7 pounds of clay. That's the most amount of clay that I've ever put on a bat system.
And it's on that tiny one, right?
That's right. It was on this.
Wow.
So normally, if I'm going to put a large amount of clay, like 7, 8 pounds or whatever, I would not use a bat system. I would put it on the entire bat and then lift the whole bat off the wheel. This was done on the bat system, and I don't know if you can see it underneath there, but it's still sitting on the round bat insert. Now it has been wired, so when this dries just a little bit more, I will separate the bat from the bowl, and then I will trim this down. This is 7 pounds now. It will be considerably less than that when I trim it, because our clay doesn't have any grog in it, and there's no particles or anything to give it stability when it's thinner. In order for me to get thin forms, I usually have to make them quite thick and then trim away once it gets to the leather hard stage. And this is a 7-pound bowl, and I am absolutely astounded that I was able to get a 7-pound bowl on this tiny little bat system. So you can bet I'm going to be buying this again. And one more time, and I'll put a link to this in the descriptions for any of you potters that are out there if you want to know exactly what I'm talking about. It is Dirty Girls Pottery Supply, and it is their round bat system, and I love it so much. I'm going to definitely buy another one. We need another one so we have one for each wheel. And it's been a workhorse. I mean, that's what I've been using for the past week, and we've made so many things. And
yeah, you've definitely been putting it through its paces, so that's good. And it's nice to know when you spend some money that the product is actually worth it. And we had a Bleecker, and it lasted for a couple of years?
Yeah, 2 years. Bleecker, I don't have really any real complaints about it.
Yeah, and so that's like half the price of the Dirty Girl. But then we tried that El Cheapo thing, and
yeah, we were just trying to get some in quickly and cheaply, and I'm not even going to link the ones that we bought from Amazon because they were horrible.
Yeah.
They were really, really bad. One use, and now we'll never use them again. But
you liked this because of the round.
Right, and you'll see, or you did see in the video where I put my purple base setter in the bottom and then pull it towards me. The bat system we were using before with corners, every time it hit a corner, it would give me a little bobble. So it would go pump, 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 pump as I pulled it back. Because this base system is round, there's only one area of bumpiness, and that's where the single notch is for getting the bat off the wheel. And that's cool. easy to deal with. So anyway, long story short, I love the new bat system, and it's going to enable me to make bigger and better things on the wheel.
And on top of all of the making that happened in the studio last week, and the glazing and the kilns firing and stuff, you got our internet going out here in the studio
For the first time in our lives, we have high-speed internet, actually high-speed internet. We had fiber optic gigabit internet to the house, and I did spend a little bit more time than I should have, but it was way cheaper but because I did it myself. And I have high-speed internet across our entire property now. So that's actually significant.
So if I want to watch some of you folks out there doing your pottery YouTube channels, I can put it on the TV in here.
Or if we want to work on our videos here in the studio and upload them here in the studio, we've got the speed.
Or I can watch a movie.
Yep. Or I could watch a movie.
We could both watch a movie. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so anyway, that took a little more time than I would have ordinarily wanted it to, but it was cheap because I did it myself. So
yeah, and you did a good job because it's working.
It is working, right? Knock on wood. It is working.
So, alrighty. Well, we're going to give you a bird update now.
Bird update.
Yes, Carolyn sent some new pictures
with her
this morning.
Adopted baby buzzards.
Oh, they're not. They are pigeons. If you tuned in to us before, you've seen them in a little video where I was feeding them here in the studio. And so I'm just going to share a few pictures at this time. All three have made it, and
we were worried about that one. There was one that was much smaller than the others, but apparently it's doing fine.
Yes, and they're all growing and very active, and they really think Carolyn is their mother and respond accordingly to her. And they had some time outdoors this morning, and so she sent some pictures of them, and so I'll share them with you guys now.
Fantastic baby pigeons.
Yeah.
They're still ugly.
They are still ugly, but I can't wait for the day that they're beautiful.
They will one day be beautiful.
Yes.
Like a pigeon.
Well, they are pretty.
They are.
Pigeons
are pretty.
Pigeons.
Compared to centipedes.
Yes. All right. That's not nice.
You're right. Centipedes can be pretty. So I've seen some really beautiful centipedes.
So, all right, we're moving on to this coming week.
All right, we have lots of stuff happening this week, as usual.
Well, we have. For the market, we only have 2 Wednesdays left. This Wednesday and the following Wednesday. And then the Wednesdays will be done for the year. And then there are 6 Saturdays in total left. So
we have 8 more setups.
We're winding down.
8 more setups before the Holly Market in November, but 8 more regular setups. And yesterday was our day before yesterday, Saturday was our 3rd biggest selling day ever.
Yes,
we
amazing.
Had a huge day. When I said that we sold everything from the last kiln load, that's not an exaggeration. No. We literally sold almost an entire kiln load and on that one day. And
I'm very grateful for that because, I am like that squirrel, storing acorns. I'm trying to get as much stored for the winter and to get through the winter months until markets start back up.
And it's time for us to start thinking about some of those projects that we're going to be doing. Our online store, and this is kind of where we're going to lead into the question that we have for you guys. Yeah. We are going to be serious this year about getting an online store set up. We have to be because we intend to keep making our pottery at the same pace and the same rate as we're making it right now. And that means we're going to have enough that we can stock an online store.
Right. And so our question, guys, is if you sell online, and it doesn't matter what you sell online, if you sell pottery or you sell something else, what has worked best for you?
What's your preferred platform and technique?
And, or what hasn't?
That's almost as important. If you've tried something and it didn't work out at all, what did you try and what didn't work? We're trying to gather as much information as we can before we really sink our resources into a specific path. Now, we're thinking Etsy's a decent choice only because they handle all of the shipping and taxes and stuff. Our problem with Etsy is that they take a huge chunk of the money, bit larger than what we would want them to take. But maybe it's worth it, maybe it's not. If you're a seller, if you sell anything, pottery or anything else, do let us know what works for you and what doesn't work. And that'll give us kind of a head start.
Right. And I am getting ready to take a bookkeeping / accounting course because I feel like that's an area that I need to be a little bit more knowledgeable about because maybe I wouldn't be as afraid of going and doing online. If I knew all the ins and outs of the record keeping and all of the tax things
The
that go
accounting
along,
kind of things, right?
With all the different states, I mean,
Well, we're going to do our best to keep up with that, and I'm sure you're going to do fantastic with your online course for sure.
We'll see. We'll hope anyway.
Yep. But in addition to that, that's kind of our long range through the next season kind of plans. We have a couple of other things coming up too.
We do. We're going to do something new again this week.
Of course we are.
Well, it's not that I don't plan on doing the other things that we've done, but I don't want to do a marathon every week or
it
found
would
object.
kill me.
Yes. So I want to have like a cycle of things that we can just keep rotating through so that we have that element of fun.
All right, so the suspense is killing me. What do you have planned for us this week?
We're going to have a Throwdown Thursday.
Throwdown Thursday. Now, that could be a competition? Is that what you're
Yes,
thinking?
it's a competition.
Oh, no. I'm cooked. I am so cooked.
I'm
Let me
excited.
tell you, when I say there's no winning this
I am competitive, folks.
Even if I win, I don't win, if you know what I mean. So
That's not nice.
That's not nice. So what were you thinking? Who can carry the largest amount of clay?
No. I'm thinking we need to make something. Maybe there's a theme.
Okay.
And we just make things for that theme, and then we get maybe Christopher, maybe Karen to kind of judge.
We got to find a judge that you're not related to. No, maybe not. All right, so
Karen and James. James isn't related, but he is still more me.
Yeah, that's very true. All right, so we got to think of a theme, and we're going to do a Throwdown Thursday. Yes. This Thursday, today's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, we got 3 days.
We need
to think about it.
A theme.
Mm-hmm. We've kind of kicking ideas around. Faces would be a good theme.
Faces. You mentioned
tea. Not vases. Faces.
Yes.
Right?
But maybe just a word for inspiration.
A tea set. We were talking about possibly doing
and
a tea set.
And then we just have to develop that theme, and we'll have.
I kind of like a tea set would be awesome. We could get that done in a single day.
Yeah, I do have a tea coming up in October.
Well, that's
my annual tea.
This might be a reason to make some stuff for that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we're going to come up with some ideas. A tea set, faces, monsters, Halloween-y themes. Yeah. Something that we can do both by throwing something on the wheel and also by hand building.
Right.
Because honestly, if it were a hand building competition, Diana has a huge advantage. If it were a wheel throwing competition, I have a huge advantage. So we would like to pick a theme that we can execute using whatever methods we want to.
Right. And I think it'll just be fun to see how we develop that idea of the theme in our pieces, no matter how they're made. Like, do we end up with a set? Do we, like you said, with a tea set or something, or do we end up with a dinner plate set, or I don't know.
We'll figure it out. We've got 3 days to figure it out. We'll do it.
It'll be fun.
Piece of cake.
Yes, and then the other thing we do have to do too this week is we're gonna have to make a clay order again. You
believe it or not, we just got literally 1,000 pounds of clay in, and we're 25% through that clay already, a quarter of the way through.
And we talked about this, and the thing is, we're going to run out of clay when we're experiencing freezing temperatures.
That's right. So now, be aware. Yeah. This is the clay that we are using. We're not doing any classes or anything. No. There's nobody else consuming our clay, but we are going through this clay very fast. Right. And by our calculations, we will need to order it right when we also have to worry about freezing temperatures between where the clay originates and our location. And I don't know if you've ever dealt with clay that's been frozen before. It's not that the freezing it necessarily ruins the clay, but it could make it short. So you have to rehydrate it or wedge it right out of the bag. Things that we don't normally like to do. So I think it's better for us to order another large quantity of clay, keep it here in the studio where it's going to stay the same temperature all the time. And then not have to worry about it. It isn't like the clay really goes bad. If the bag is undamaged and they're sealed up, it'll last a long time. nearly unlimited amounts of time here in our studio anyway.
Right.
If we continue to use it at the pace we're using it right now, we're staring down the possibility of needing to get several pallet deliveries per year, and we don't want those to happen during the winter.
No, so we're going to go ahead and before this week is done, we're going to place that order. And believe it or not, I do have some glazes again that I'm going to have to make up a glaze order too. I do want to get the my clear in a dipping glaze form this time, but I'm going to need another gallon of honey flux. So,
Yep.
And then there's a few other ones
Many
yes.
other things that we're going to need.
And I'd rather just go ahead and get them now.
I'm sure there's some stroking coats that are running low. We're going to need some of those simple, easy stroking coats. And although I love this Iceman clay, in fact, throwing things like this on it have made me really appreciate how awesome this clay can be. Yeah. I'm kind of feeling a little monochromatic, and we have 100 pounds of Shelterly Brown still in the studio that we haven't touched in a while. It may be worthwhile to throw a couple more cases of the Shelterly Brown in our next order, just to have them. And now that we have two wheels, it is possible for us to have a brown clay and a white clay wheel setup. So we'll think about it. We'll think about it. And even every once in a while, I get nostalgic for the standard 112. I mean, that was what we started with, the speckles every once in a while. Anyway, what else do we have to talk about
I
for
think
today?
that is it. I think we've touched on everything. I'm going to be heading to Walmart in just a little bit because that's where I got my glasses from the Vision Center. I got to get them to adjust because
she got new glasses, you guys.
They keep slipping. And the thing I noticed is most of the time when I work, I'm always bent over, and so they slip down. And then I'm just looking over the glasses again, and I'm like, what's the point to
you
the
could
glasses?
just duct tape them to your face while you're working. That'd be the
I'm
way
going to get
do
them
it.
adjusted.
Maybe, or you could get them adjusted.
I'm going to get them adjusted.
You could do that too. I mean, that's
I'm
another
still
option.
trying to get used to them because they have the progressive lens in them.
I wear glasses for distance, but I don't need glasses to see things close up. So if you see me at the market or out and about anywhere, you're probably going to see me with glasses on, but I don't need them sitting here. If I'm wearing my glasses, I wouldn't be able to read what's on the notebook in front of me.
And I can't read what's on the notebook without glasses, but now my distance is also not working.
Aren't we the perfect pair? We really are the perfect pair.
Yes.
I think so. All right, what else? Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Guys, listen, thank you so much for watching. We really do appreciate you. It is a fantastic day outside, and I hope you get out and enjoy it, even if it's rainy or whatever, where you're at. The day itself can be enjoyed just by paying attention, opening your eyes. Okay, we all good? All right, guys. Toodaloo, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care. See you later. Have a fantastic day no matter where you're at. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.